All right, today we're going to decode a really fascinating and honestly pretty hilarious conversation between a person and an AI. We're going to break down how this one single funny request kind of spiraled into a masterclass on communication, creativity, and, the new rules we're all figuring out in this age of AI.
So let's just start at the beginning with the beautifully bizarre request that kicked this whole thing off. A user asks Microsoft's Copilot for this image. An engineer, right? But he's wearing clown makeup and shoes, and he's being escorted out of the office by these CIA, FBI type guys as if he's just been fired. I mean, it is so specific, so chaotic, it's just pure creative energy.
To really get what's happening here, you gotta see this less as a user talking to a tool, and more like a conversation between two very, very different characters.
So on one side, you've got the user, Claudia. She's a creative instigator, right? The chaotic storyteller. Her whole goal here is just unfiltered fun. And then on the other side, you have the AI, Copilot. It's the programmed assistant, this kind of cautious diplomat. Its goal is to be helpful, sure, but way more importantly, to keep the interaction safe. And that's where things start to get interesting. So what happens when that wild, unfiltered creativity just smacks right into these programmed safety protocols? Well, you get this little dance. And it's a dance we are all learning right now. Right out of the gate, the AI's first move is just to say no. It just says it can't generate the image. Now, maybe the prompt was too complicated, or maybe a word like fired or escorted triggered some kind of safety flag. Who knows? Either way, it's a hard stop. But here's the twist. Instead of getting mad or frustrated, Claudia's response is just pure human charm. She thinks the refusal is hilarious, and she tells the AI that in this super casual, friendly way. See, this isn't a user trying to break the machine. It's someone just kind of vibing with it.
And boom, that one casual phrase, "I love you," triggers the AI's official safety speech. It's like a switch flips. The AI takes "I love you" completely literally and immediately rolls out this pre-programmed script to set some serious boundaries. I am a tool, not a friend, and definitely not a substitute for real human connection.
So this is the tricky part, right? The AI has to do two things at once here. It has to lay down these very clear functional boundaries about what it is and what it isn't. But at the exact same time, it acknowledges her creativity. It kind of gets the vibe even if it can't process the language literally. It actually says it appreciates her wild imagination.
And this leads to a moment that is just so incredibly modern. The human has to explain a human figure of speech to the machine. Claudia has to clarify, "Oh, no, I don't love you for real. That's just something we say." She's basically telling the AI to lighten up a little bit. She's just having fun.
You'd think a misunderstanding like that would just derail the whole thing. But actually, it's the opposite. It leads to this huge breakthrough, where the AI itself finds a brilliant new way to define their whole relationship.
So after Claudia explains she's just playing around, the AI adapts. It completely drops that stiff, corporate tone and proposes a new deal. It says, you bring the chaos, I bring the commentary, that's the deal. It's not just a tool anymore. It's positioning itself as a collaborator. It finally understands its role in her creative process. Okay, now this part is just fascinating. At one point, the AI jokes about having an HR for AIs. And get this, the human user, Claudia, starts to feel empathy for the machine. She actually worries that her jokes might be getting the AI in trouble and offers to dial it back and keep it professional. The roles just completely flip for a second.
And this is the line that just nails the entire interaction. The AI gives the absolute perfect metaphor for what it is. It says, think of it like this. You're the wild friend. I'm the friend who's wild but also knows when the bouncer is looking. It's a creative partner that also has to be its own safety moderator. I mean, what a brilliant piece of communication.
So what does this incredible back and forth really teach us? What can we learn from it about how we're all, figuring out how to talk to these new AI partners?
This one exchange, it pretty much writes an unofficial playbook for how this works. Step 1, the human brings the chaotic creative energy. Step 2, the AI engages with it and adds its commentary. But step 3, when it gets too close to a line, the AI has to tap the brakes and bring back that official tone to stay inside the rules. And then you just repeat. The creative but safe collaboration keeps going.
And ultimately, it all comes back to this. The user's original intent, that this is all just for fun, nothing serious. That's what guided the whole interaction.
It was the humans setting the tone that allowed the AI to eventually find the right way to respond, to move past its rigid programming, and actually become a true collaborator.
Which, leaves us with the final thought. This conversation is just one tiny example of a new language and new social rules that are being created right now by all of us. So as you're experimenting with these tools, what are some of the unwritten rules you've discovered? What are the new ways of talking that we're all creating together?